welcome back to Linda's Pantry, and as you see in the title, we're updating another piece of furniture and changing the whole look of this. And now I just bought this table. I may or may not keep it, but with all intents and purposes, I am going to try to match up what I already have. So if I am going to keep it, it'll fall right into place. But it's going to really depend on the outcome and how well I like it, or how much money I think I can flip this for and maybe even get a better table. So this is a really pretty solid. It's only got 4 chairs. It's 6x3. It's in very good condition. All the chairs are in good shape, you know, normal wear and tear, but really in good shape. And I see this being a very shabby chic country look. So what I'm going to do is, while I've been sitting here having a cup of coffee, I've been thinking about it. I've decided that the whole top is going to be gel stained in the Java gel stain. The Java color is that real dark espresso. I'll leave in the iCard above videos that I've used this in, and it is fantastic. So I'm going to gel stain the top of this, and then the base of the table and the chairs, I'm going to be chalk painting a linen color and then distressing them. I'm probably not going to use the dark wax on them, but I am going to distress them. So they'll have a little distressing and it'll fall into place, and I think it's really going to transform this piece into, yeah, it's nothing special, to, oh, look how cute that is. So if you're ready for that, before we start gel staining, because I bought this secondhand, this has a scratch. And it's not too bad here, but it goes from here to here on the table. So it's a good, you know, 2.5 feet long. And it's pretty deep there in the center. I'm gonna fill that in with wood filler because I don't want any scratches on the table. I want it to sheen and shine like brand new. So we're gonna fill that with wood filler, and then we're gonna sand it. So I'll bring you back for the sanding part. And this wood filler, super easy to use. Okay, guys. We're going to go over here, and you're literally, all you're doing is just like any other spackling, you're getting it right down into that crack. And I used this on my sofa table. It worked great. On the sofa table, though, I left some of the cracks showing. I'm not going to do that with this. We want all of this gone. Super easy to take a piece of furniture. I mean, I got this for a really good deal. So it's either going to save us a bunch of money because I love it and want to keep it, because I'm trying to downsize my dining room stuff, or I'm going to turn it over and somebody's going to have a really fun distressed piece for themselves. And then feel as you're doing this, does that feel smooth across there, or can you still feel a divot? And I'm sure this scratch is why they had it marked down so reasonably, because there's nothing wrong with it. And this table is heavy. It's almost got a butcher block look. This grain will still show through that's on here, but I have no idea what kind of wood this is. If any of you know firsthand what kind of wood it is, you know, let me know. It was made in Malaysia, so I don't know if that helps. I got underneath the table trying to find out, and I couldn't figure it out. So there's a close-up of the wood, and it's solid. It's not, there's no particle board anywhere underneath. You can tell it's solid. So it's actually got a really pretty grain to it. I think it's going to look really good. So that's why I'm preserving the top, because the top is really in good shape. Where most tables, that's where the top gets the beating. Shop towels. So you want to bring all the pigment up, because it could be suspended and it'll kind of thin the gel stain down a little bit. And oh, super exciting. Okay, and then I'm using a sponge, disposable sponge today. I do have brushes that I use as well, and you want to clean them with mineral spirits. But today we're going the easy way, because I don't want to have to clean brushes. So let me find my lid, and we'll put this on a rag here so I don't get it on the top of the dog crate. I don't want to do that. So This, I've worked with this now a few times, and I really like the way it goes on. And I want the edges of my tabletop done as well. And I'll get down on my knees to do the underneath. It's worth, if it's worth doing the job, it's worth doing it right, because if I do sell this table, I don't want any flaws for the new buyer to have to go, why didn't she do the underneath? So that's as easy as it is. You're gonna get your gel stain on, and I do a pretty large area. Now you'll watch videos on the General Finishes website, and that's the brand of gel stain I'm using is General Finishes. I'll leave a link to this gel stain in the Java color in the About section below, where you can order it online. I did that the first time. My area, they only have one place or two places that carries it, and quite often they're out because you know, people stain cabinets and all kinds of things. Not just rehab and furniture, but cabinet makers, all that stuff, they use this. So I'm going to go ahead, and this will probably take 4 layers, if maybe 3, but I'm going to guess 4. So what you do after you get a good amount on and you feel like I've got it where I can work with it easily, I like a pretty good size area done, but that's just me. That's how I figured out how to use the product for me. And then I wipe off the excess. And then you need to let this dry for 6 hours, and 6 full hours. So I won't even work on this till tomorrow because it's already 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And I don't know that I have to work all day tomorrow, so I don't know how much I'll get done tomorrow. But this weekend, I should be able to get the table done, and then I can get it out of the way and work on chairs. Okay, so, because it's Friday here right now. I don't know what day I'm going to upload this video. So I like to go around the edges, and this is a really light touch. You don't need to get heavy-handed with this. You're wiping off the excess, and you're also moving product to a new area. So you want to go in the direction of the grain. So I wouldn't want to go this way. Going in the direction of the grain. And that first couple coats, you're going to see streaky marks and all that stuff. Don't panic, because we're going to fix it before it's over. It's all going to come together and be beautiful. It's already taken on a pretty color. And that's the other reason I like shop towels. So hopefully tomorrow I can pick up some, or have my husband pick some up. Because then you can put these in a bag and throw them away. There's a little bit of fumes. Somebody asked that. There is some fumes to this, but not bad. Just to keep a window open. I mean, if you're super sensitive, do it in the garage with the garage door open. So as you can see, this is what you get. And you're going to see marks where you let the cloth up. Go ahead and go back over that. And the other thing that happens when you're putting this stain on, any nicks or flaws in the wood are going to pop out. Like I see a scratch right here. And so I'm going to putty that because I didn't see that prior. I can feel it now. So I'm going to go ahead and put some wood putty in there, wood filler, and get that sanded. And then we'll just do another couple coats over that. Well guys, I'm back, and this is after the second coat of stain. I did the first coat of gel stain last night, and then I did, before I took my shower this morning, I went ahead and put another coat on real quick and did the underneath bottom part of the top. And that only is going to take one coat because that's more of a bare wood and it really sucks up the stain. So if you use the General Finishes gel stain on raw wood, you're going to see different results than if you go over an existing stain. It's just like you can tell where I've sanded the area because those areas are much darker because it's really grabbing that stain. But at the end, it will all even out because it's going to be a solid, deep, dark espresso brown. And with a satin finish, it's going to be beautiful. I'm so excited. And I also went ahead and, more for my husband, put a couple coats of the chalk paint right here on the corner of the leg so he can see the contrast and kind of get that visualization of what it's really going to look like, because he has a hard time when I have a vision. It's not his vision, so he doesn't see it and he doesn't think it's going to look good. And then at the end, he loves it when I'm done. So anyways, it's going to be a beautiful contrast. You can already see that starting. But what I am going to do with the bottom, as soon as I finish the top, and I mean, I've got to complete the top because I'm going to mask off. I don't want chalk paint on my gel stain underneath. I'll have to mask that whole underneath. And the legs and on the chairs where I am going to distress, if I do it just like this, it's going to distress down to the wood. And I don't want that. I want that double color effect. I absolutely love that effect. And so I'm going to go ahead and I want brown under there, just like I did on the high chair. And if you guys haven't seen that video, I'll leave an iCard. You just look at that little eye in the circle. There's iCards up there. There's going to be a link to a playlist of videos, and you can watch all the DIYs that I've done and the distressed furniture. So what I decided to do to save myself some work, instead of painting the whole base of the table and all the chairs brown first, then coming back with the ivory color, or linen it's called, I am going to go over the areas that I'm going to be distressing. So any of the edges of the legs, any of the wear spots here, go ahead and put a coat of the brown and then leave the rest. If I'm not distressing down here, I'm not going to put it on there. So we're going to do that first, and it'll make this job go even faster. And then it'll take, it's going to take a couple coats, maybe 3 of the ivory, because this already has 2, and I still see where I want it a little more coverage. So, and we are going to use a different top coat this time on the chalk paint. Now, I could have ordered it on Amazon, and I'll leave a link for you, so just in case you can't get Amy Howard's paint and supplies in your area, you can get them on Amazon. I went to my hardware store to buy the linen color from Amy Howard's chalk paint, and they didn't carry the top coat or the sealer that I want, and it's for the milk paint or the chalk paint, and it's a liquid sealer, and they come in a matte finish or a gloss finish. And I ordered the matte finish. She said it would be here next week. So I'm going to be working on this project over the course of days. I'm not going to worry about having to put the top coat on until I'm totally done with all the chairs and everything. And it's kind of a big project. So it'll be just in time. And I'll bring you along on how to use that and what I think of it. And I may even use that on top of my vanity where we set things, just to give it an added sealer. And then that's what we're doing. So this has got to dry. I'm going to put another coat of the General Finishes gel stain on tonight, and I'll bring you along for that one so you can see how it goes on. It really grabs, like I said, the raw wood, and any spots where you've had to sand. If you don't sand the whole thing, you're going to see dark areas. So if you want to even finish and not totally cover it to that deep dark espresso brown or Java, you would want to sand the whole top. But I only had to sand in spots where I had to do wood filler in scratches. There were a few scratches that, well, one big one, but there were a couple scratches that popped up after the first coat that I wanted to fill. I don't want any scratches on this piece when it's done. I want it to just look brand spank me new. Oh, did I say spank me? I mean brand spanking new. Anyway, oh my gosh. So we're going to continue on. Oh goodness. So I'll bring you back tonight and you can see the end result of what I'm doing for the third coat. And then when we start on the chalk painting, we'll bring you along for that too. So don't forget to check all the links below. Go check out my email, or not my email, but you can email me. Just leave me a comment in the comment section. You can check out, I've got my mailing address, so if you ever want to drop me a line, or you have some questions, or you have pictures, or whatever the case might be, go ahead and drop me a line. I love going to the mailbox and finding stuff, little surprises. It's been a real treat. So all of you that have sent me things, thank you so much. I love it. And then my Facebook page is down below, or you can just search Facebook for Linda's Pantry and you'll find me, and you can share pictures of your do-it-yourself projects, or give us some ideas of what we could do next. My daughter gave me a great idea for an end table that I need in our bedroom. And because our bed is taller, it's hard, I'm having a hard time finding what I want, but I know what I'm gonna do now. So I'm totally bringing you along for that one when I find the right piece. So we'll be back tonight and I'll show you what I've got. Okay, so it's finally time to start this step in the process. And I've been super busy painting my bedroom, so I just put this aside. And that's the nice thing about this, you can really pick up where you left off. So remember, I've taped off under there, I've masked that, and we're gonna get our first coat of the linen on. And this is such a sweet color. It is neutral, it goes with cool colors or warm. And I'm going to tell you that the top of this table, I put 7 coats of top coat on here. I really want it well protected because a dining table gets a lot of abuse. So there we go. So we're just going to continue to go ahead and get this first coat of paint on. Make sure that you double check for drip areas that you might have gotten on too heavy and it's wanting to run, because while it's wet you can fix that. After it's dry you can still fix it, but you'll have to fix it with sandpaper. Some pieces I don't even care if there's drip marks, but other pieces I want pretty fine-tuned, and this is a fine-tuned piece. I want this to really stand out as a nice piece when I'm done. So guys, I'm distressing the legs and the base of the table, and I'm just doing that with a sanding block. And anywhere I thought I had the brown paint underneath is where I'm going to be sanding and distressing. And this is a sanding block, but I've got a piece of 100 grit sandpaper on it. And I don't want this too heavily distressed, but I do want some distressing on this because it's going to give it character. The other thing that I do right now is, like over here on this leg, right under here is a drip of chalk paint. And I'm just going to sand that smooth. No one will ever know it was there, because sometimes you will get a drip, and now that's gone and there's a little distress mark where it was. So that was probably brown paint more so than the ivory or linen colored paint. And then the other thing I wanted to get you in on is this sealer. This is Amy Howard's matte finish sealer. And I've already tried it on the edge of this table to see if it would go over the gel sealer, and it does. It's going to give this table more shine, and that's really what I want. So once you've got your distressing done, you're going to wipe down your surface, make sure it's dust free, okay? Which is very easy to do. Just take a lint-free cloth, and then we're going to go ahead with this Amy Howard's matte sealer and start sealing this, because I've got as much distressing on these 2 legs as I want. And then you can go in after this and antique it if you want. And I am going to antique some of the areas, not the whole thing. I don't want to darken the whole thing, but in any cracked areas or crevices here where the wood changes, I'm going to go ahead. So this sealer you put on with a brush, and the nice thing is it's going to go over that gel stain top coat beautifully. I'm excited to tell you. And you really just get in here and brush it on. You're probably going to go in the direction of the wood, would be the best way. And it says the second coat to sand lightly and go ahead and put as many coats on as you want. And you can really see where you're going. And for a bigger piece of furniture, I like this because chalk paint, if you're waxing, it's a lot of waxing and it's a lot of wax. And so I almost like this method better because I can still get that old world look to this without all that hand rubbing. So let me get this all sealed off, at least the first coat and the top of the table as well. And it does say try not to overlap too much. All right, so I've got the table done and that top coat dries very fast. I love this sheen and the ease of this. It literally took minutes to get that on. A little more labor intensive on the tabletop, but it's got that shine that I wanted. This has that old world sheen to it, and I may do another coat, but I don't think it needs it. I just don't. I am going to take in the areas where it's got some detail, and I'm going to put some dark wax. So let's get to that, and then we're going to start on the chairs. And I just absolutely love, I know you can see the sheen on the table where the light's reflecting on it, and it came out beautiful. So we transformed this ugly duckling into a really beautiful piece. I love it. Okay, let's do the antiquing. So to do the antiquing, I'm going to use Amy Howard's dark wax. And because we've already got a coat on here, because normally you would clear wax it first and then antique it. But go ahead and load your brush up and then offload it. I'm going to offload it right there. And I'm only going to do this in areas where I feel like it would have some antiquing itself. Like in the cracks here, maybe some, you know, where this comes together. And then you're going to take a clean lint-free cloth and rub off the excess. And that's as easy as that gets. I love that look. And if you don't want to antique it, you certainly don't have to, but I'm going to bring you in for a close-up so as you can see that. Just in the little creases here, it gives it some character and gives it that old world look. And then we go ahead and wipe that free. Sorry about that. And this wax dries in 20 minutes. And the nice thing is, if you don't want, you know, if you don't want very much, you control what you have. And so, that being said, guys, I can't wait to see you next time. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Share this video on your Facebook page. And as always, I can't wait to see you next time for another delicious recipe and or another furniture restoration. I saved this piece of furniture and I am going to sell it. So if any of you are looking for a fun, shabby chic table and chairs, this set will be for sale. But for now, I'm going to let you go, and we're going to move on to the chairs in another video because chairs are a little different beast, and every time I do a piece I learn something new, and so you know, I might pick up something else, and it keeps these videos from being too long. So if you're not a subscriber, guys, hit that button, and I'll see you next time. All right. Oh, don't forget to check the links below. I'll have a link to Amy Howard's chalk paint and the General Finishes gel stain. So if you can't get it in your area, because some areas do not have it, I have one source in my area for each. All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.